This is Akko.
And this is Tamo for the Akko and Tamo podcast, a podcast dedicated to parenting where we explore new perspectives
And share ideas on how to love yourself, love your partner, and shower your children with love.
This is episode 52.
And the topic of the day is father and daughter time, spending quality time together. And before we get started, please take a quick moment to subscribe to our show. Now, let's get back to our recent happenings. So recently, we've changed our podcast title and new intro.
Yeah, hope you like it. We used to be Yuntak Time with
Yes.
Akko and Tamo, but now we changed it to Akko and Tamo podcast.
Yeah, so we're hoping that can appeal to more people and just have ourselves out there.
Yes. And then in later podcast episodes, we'll love to share our values and mission statement for the podcast. So stay tuned. And let's go into the topic of the day, which is father and daughter time, spending quality time together. And this was an interesting one. Just recently, flew to California with our daughter for a couple of days to attend the wedding of a good friend. And Akko and I, discussed it a bit and decided that it would be
A good opportunity.
for me to fly with our daughter. So it'll be one-on-one time with me and our daughter, and we can spend time with our son one-on-one. So we decided to do that. And I didn't really know what to expect because our daughter, she is 3.5 years old, and our son is 1.5 years old. And she usually needs mama for many things, right?
Yeah, she's pretty attached, especially during the night. And I think it's because night is tied into comfort. And so the kids tend to come to me for more comfort. Oh, I got hurt, like more nurturing stuff. But they go to dad for like play and entertainment, having fun, because he's more of the fun parent.
Yeah, and I was a little worried just if she's going to be okay at night because we all co-sleep together. So all four of us sleep on a bed together. I take up the smallest space and everyone else takes up all the rest of the bed.
Yeah.
And so I'm always on the corner, almost falling off.
All the time.
Falling off the bed, yeah. And so anyways, going back to the story, I didn't really know what to expect, a bit worried, but we decided that let's test this out. And I went into it relatively optimistically. There's a close to a 6-hour flight to California and then a couple days and then fly back. So I was already planning it out and making sure that we're staying relatively busy so that our daughter isn't too caught up in her own thoughts of missing mama or missing her brother. So with that said, I went into it not only optimistically, but I decided to really give it good focus. So really focusing primarily on our daughter's needs and understanding her and being with her was a big thing for me. So that's what I did. And through that, I learned a lot from being together and how I can best communicate with her and improving our relationship. Not to say that the relationship was bad, but it's just a good relationship got even better. And it was such a positive experience. It was really great for the two of us. And just to give you a little context, the first day we flew in, we came in at night, so we just went to bed. And then our daughter was excited because we stayed at our previous house. And so she found comfort in being there. And then the next day was the wedding, so we prepared and I made sure that she understood that we're going to go to a wedding and there might be people that she doesn't know, but also blah, blah, blah is coming and sharing information so that she's not thrown into something she doesn't know. And especially for our daughter, she likes to have that understanding of what is going to happen. She doesn't really like to be thrown completely into something that she doesn't know. And so again, just really learning how to communicate with her. And not only that, I also learned a lot about myself. I thought that I was patient, but I was able to even push that patience even further, really taking time to understand what my daughter is needing and then communicating that to our daughter and getting an affirmative from our daughter and then taking action from there instead of barking out orders and things like that. And so that was a big learning experience that I've also been able to share with Akko and helping understanding how best to communicate with our daughter. So because of all that, it significantly improved our relationship, and there's definitely a lot more openness on both sides, both on my side and her side, and it's just been wonderful. And so for those who are listening, I would recommend creating opportunities to have one-on-one time with your children and with each of your children. And starting early, meaning when they're very young, starting early will allow the relationship to compound over time and bring a lot of joy. And even for our daughter and I, it's another memory that we've created. And yes, she's so young, she may not remember, but I went into it with the idea of creating a highlight video. So what I did was I took a lot of video, and then I haven't created it yet, but I'll be creating a highlight video of that trip together so that she can keep it in her positive, fun memory bank and always kind of look back at it. And even in the future, when she's much older, she'll always have access to these videos so that she can look back at the past and have a smile. Oh, that was really fun when I went on a trip with dad, or when I went to do this with mom, or great times with my brother, things like that. So creating a positive, fun, loving past will create for a better future. So that's the reason I've created that. And then on the trip, we've visited her grandparents, my parents, and then, yeah, it was a really great time. Flew back. And then once we got home, our daughter was so happy to see Mama and her brother. It was really great.
Yeah, she was. And I can totally tell the difference. When she came back, she was a lot more like wanting to be with dad. Not that she wasn't before, but it was just a lot more noticeable, even at night. So it's been a great experience, and I can see that it was a positive impact on everyone, and hoping to do that with each of our children so that all of them gets to experience both of us.
Yeah, and I think that one-on-one time is really important. Going out as a family, great. Yeah, that's fantastic. But there's also, I think, an openness that happens when someone is one-on-one with another person. Because, for example, in our family's case, when we're all together as a family, sometimes our children have to ask for our attention. So if we're giving more attention to one, maybe the other will need to compete for attention from the parents. So there's a little bit more to it than when you're one-on-one. And so by being with your child one-on-one, we're able to give them our full attention, especially if this one-on-one time is intentionally created so that you don't have to, as a parent, have to worry about work or errands or anything like that. Although you can probably mix your errands with being with your child. And so those things are something to think about. If you think this episode is helpful for other parents, please share it. And if you haven't, please take a quick moment to subscribe to our show. And the question of the day is, what kind of challenges do you see in creating one-on-one time with your children?
We'd love to hear from you. Please come say hi by commenting on our website by going to akkoandtamo.com and clicking on the podcast tab. All right, bye.
Take care.